So we haven't had a body language analysis in a while, and you know that one of the first thing that we think when we think about body language analysis is to just come with a complete and open mind. We are not accusing anybody of anything. That is important, but yeah, there are gonna be things about this that but let's watch this. 23-year-old Nasra Ahmed alleged she was quote unquote kidnapped and brutalized by ICE at a Minnesota news conference. That man, he called me the N-word, and then they arrested me. It was multiple people. They used a lot of force. All right. Johnny Maga says that this is laughably bad acting. I already saw the clip. This is not my first reaction to the clip, but I want you to watch it and pay attention to her body language. We have a, let's say, front row seat to this, and let's see her words and what she says. I'm gonna be pausing the video every now and then for my comments.
We're following these two men, and I was waiting for these two men to hold the door for me, and I told them, hey, can you hold the door for me? And I walked right in the middle, and when I was in the middle, ICE came. They came out of their cars. They asked me to see my ID, and while they were asking me to see the ID, they just decided it was nice to be racist and say really nasty things to me. And yeah, that man, he called me the N-word. And
okay, there's one thing that I don't get from the get-go, because she is apparently, according to what I see online, because I have no way to confirm this, that she is an American citizen, and she showed these agents her ID, and it seems that it was not enough. Or are Somalians also forging citizen or American IDs? Or I don't know how that works. Why would that happen? Well, maybe there was some confusion, right? Maybe we can give her a pass. This is just the first part of the video.
he called me that, and then he arrested me. They arrested me. It was multiple people. They used a lot of force to arrest me. I actually got a scab that was healing while I was in jail.
Okay, I actually had a scab. All right, so you're a very fast healer, by the way. And why call your that whatever they did to you? Well, she has not said directly that it was product of what they did. She did not say that, and she just said that she had a scab. The scab was from what? Maybe you slipped on a banana peel by entering the cell, and then you brush your forehead against the wall. That can happen. I mean that can happen. Banana peels are dangerous. You have to mind them every time. But I don't see the connection, especially the word scab. But there are so many words in English language to say that you were hit or you have a wound or something, and it's very convenient that she says to you know, this looks like those Japanese cartoons when somebody has this, has been hit, and they had this what is the name of this? This band-aids. This band-aids, very convenient band-aids on her head. Okay, I guess.
Scab that was healing while I was in jail. But they pushed me hard. They used a lot of violence. My body still hurts. I got a concussion.
I don't want to be the cynical here, but couldn't be here or records. I don't know. Is ICE not wearing body cam, right? Because we did not see any body cam footage. Did we see any body cam footage with Renee Good? No, right? They were filming with the phone. So ICE are not wearing body cam footage. I think that body cam are mandatory for police officers, but I don't think they are mandatory for ICE. And when I have seen ICE officers, I have not seen any body cam on them. But there must be records of this, of all that happened. I mean, actual records, right? She should be able to sue on the grounds of what happened with witnesses as well, because maybe officers don't have a body cam, but at the same time that happened with Renee Good, everybody has a camera on their pocket nowadays. Everybody. So I don't know. Maybe it would help a lot if some good Samaritan who filmed what happened at that moment, or somebody who was near, they were like exiting a public building. Somebody was holding a gate for her. Maybe any of her friends, because maybe she was hanging out with other Somalians, or she was all on her own. I don't know. So many questions.
It's really hard for me to speak because of that concussion.
It's really hard for me to speak because of that concussion. So it was a concussion, right? So, okay. How did that concussion happen? I did not hear that he was punched or hit or anything. There was no description of that fact.
They were just using a lot of force to arrest me, and I was screaming, I was crying, I was so scared. I've never been arrested in my life. I don't have a criminal record.
I don't have a criminal record. Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe you're saying because you could actually not have a criminal record. I'm gonna give her a pass with that one, but I don't know. Maybe
I have a clean record.
Again, some of you are gonna say, "Oh, she is denying with her head." Remember that in Western countries, I know that she doesn't come from a Western country, but again, she could have the influence of the culture. Even back in Somalia, you could emphasize something by just doing this. When you say something is delicious, you shake your head. So, yeah, we shake our heads to say no, but we also shake our heads in the Western world to emphasize sometimes. So
I don't have a criminal record.
And in fact, she is denying with her words. I don't have a criminal record. She's denying with her head at the same time. That is actually solid body language. So maybe she actually doesn't have a criminal record or didn't have a criminal record. She does have it now.
I have a clean record. It was just, and then that detainment, I was detained. I was literal cuffs were put on my legs, cuffs on my hands, and I was actually detained with a Native American woman. And God bless her heart, she went through a lot too. She was also detained by ICE, and she was also a U.S. citizen, and like me, and she had gashes on her.
Okay, she just said that she's a U.S. citizen. She said that herself. I think that's where I got it from. It would have been important to say that detail. Maybe from the start. Maybe she said that at the start of the press conference. Maybe somebody said that for her, and that's why she took so long to say that important detail.
And like me, and she had gashes on her face. They shattered her windows. She had blood on her jeans, her corduroy jeans, and she was crying because she was so scared because she was with her dog, she was so scared that her dog got hurt. She was so scared for her life. We were both crying together. We were holding each other tight. And I'll never forget, the fear that we both felt in our hearts that day. And
Okay, you're making things up. I was trying to be fair. I was trying to be fair, but you began a complete Pixar movie, but not the Pixar movie the older Pixar movies. No, the current Pixar movie. You had to go full DEI, adding a woman of color who had gushes because of eyes, and you had to add a dog. I mean, what else? What else? You needed. I don't know what else you needed for empathy in this. And we began hugging, and of course, when she begins to sob and to kind of try to cry, there is absolutely no sign of any sort of emotion. Maybe she runs a daycare, and the money from the daycare, she uses that for Botox. No sort of emotion on her brow whatsoever. Okay, no tears, no glassy eyes, nothing. So, two things can be true at the same time. She could have resisted arrest from ICE. She could have done something stupid. She's got some band-aids on her forehead. I don't want to see whatever is below those band-aids. I'm not interested. Maybe, yeah, she was, well, it's obvious that she was detained. There must be records of that. That actually happened. I can't imagine that she is gonna lie so blatantly like this. But no, the last part, no, it's just like you're trying to exaggerate for a sob story. I don't know. Come to my learning center.
Like the fear that we both felt in our hearts that day. And like, I'm so sorry if I'm getting a little emotional. But
Some time.
Was there a box of kittens? Yeah. Below, you know, well, we were hugging and crying, and all of a sudden we hear some kittens, and we discovered that under the seat of the cell we were imprisoned, there was a box full of kittens. Yeah, that's absolutely. There was a cherry on top.
You've done enough. Okay.
All right. I found it funny, that last expression she did right at the end. Oh, and she, you know, after the crying, quote unquote, you think that this is I don't know, the face of somebody who is stressed, actually distressed. I don't know. Hollywood is calling her for what? Well, there's so much. Well, I'm not gonna lie. She's even a better actress than AI. So maybe that could help. The body cams will refute this. I don't think that they are body cams. The fabrication of a hate crime is a hate crime. Video, or it didn't happen. I did bet money there's no video, but we should have seen video by now. There must have been video, of course. Why not? Band-aids are a cute touch. I see no bruises, nothing on the wrist or head. Stop impending the law and you won't get arrested. Again, try to act with common sense. And the memes did not wait. Jesse Somaliad over here. Yeah, this is what AI is good for. AI is good for memes. AI is good for memes. There's another angle. We could see this from another angle, just in case. And if let's watch this.
they kidnapped me. They took me. They arrested and detained me for 2 days, and I was put in county jail. ICE came. They came out of their cars. They asked me to see my ID, and while they were asking me to see the ID, that man, he called me the N-word. They pushed me hard. They used a lot of violence. My body still hurts. I got a concussion. It's
The description of what happened, they asked for my ID, then they said the N-word, and they pushed me, and they used a lot of violence, is really vague. All right? I said if George Floyd was alive, I'm pretty sure that he could describe very easily, okay, this guy just put me on the ground and put his knee over my neck. Okay, that is a description of a physical exchange. All right, and exchange of force. It's not like you are confused of what is going on, that you don't see what is happening. All right, you can describe what happened to you so people can understand what happened, and precisely the most important thing, which is the description of the alleged aggression, is vague. All right, maybe there are some more details.
really hard for me to speak because of that concussion. And I was screaming, I was crying, I was so scared. I've never been arrested in my life. I don't have a criminal record. I have a clean record. I was literal cuffs were put on my legs, cuffs on my hands. And I was actually detained with a Native American woman.
Or a Native American woman, but it's diversity, right? Native American, that checks the DEI checklist.
And God bless her heart, she went through a lot too. She was also detained by ICE, and she was also a U.S. citizen, and like me, and she had gashes on her face. They shattered her windows.
What was her name? Say her name. You remember her name?
She had blood on her jeans, her corduroy jeans, and she was crying because she was so scared that, because she was with her dog, she was so scared that her dog got hurt. She was so scared for her life. We were both crying together. We were holding each other tight. And I'll never forget, like, the fear that we both felt in our hearts that day.
All right. So, okay, there could be a video. Absolutely could be a video. There could be exchange of force. Most likely with this kind of cases, that is going to pop up maybe as we speak, maybe as this live stream is going, maybe tomorrow, that is going to appear. If there's video, and there must be video, that's going to appear at some point. We will absolutely take a look at that. But the sub story with even the box of kittens, nice touch. We need to take a look at that. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy in this case. Much love.